I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky.
I'm about to say something that's going to make Angel Reese fans absolutely lose their minds. But I'm saying this with my chest up, and I don't care who gets triggered. Angel Reese has quit on the Chicago Sky. Not injured, not day-to-day. She straight up abandoned her team when they needed her most.
The second missing component in the WNBA right now is Angel Reese and her dozens of aliases. Has anyone seen Bayou Barbie lately? Where in the hell is Double Double Barbie? Where is the me-bound clown? It has been weeks since I have heard anything about Angel Reese.
3 games in, 3 weeks. Each one a devastating blowout loss. A team that hasn't tasted victory since June, crumbling with 0 answers. And yet all we hear from the Sky organization is that same robotic response. She's day-to-day. No medical reports, no timeline, no transparency, just silence and growing suspicion that something much bigger is happening behind closed doors.
Angel Reese has been dealing with a back injury. That is the official reason for her mysterious absence. But there has been rampant speculation that this back injury isn't as serious as Angel Reese claims. And some believe that Angel Reese has quit on her team and quit on the season.
The second missing piece in the WNBA puzzle right now is Angel Reese and all her fake personas. Where the hell is Bayou Barbie? What happened to Double Double Barbie? The rebound queen has vanished into thin air. It's been weeks since anyone's heard a peep from her camp about actual basketball. Fans are connecting the dots and the picture isn't pretty. Here's what's really twisted about this whole situation. She's been claiming this mysterious back injury since the All-Star break. But here's the kicker, there are 0 details about what's actually wrong. When legitimate superstars get hurt, teams immediately release specifics. Knee strain, ankle sprain, concussion protocol. Something concrete that fans can understand and respect. With Angel Reese, nothing but that same infuriating phrase repeated like a broken record. Day to day, day to day, day to day. After nearly a month of this garbage, people are starting to realize this isn't about any injury. This is about image protection and avoiding accountability.
In the last 4 weeks, Angel Reese has played 3 games. I'm no expert in math, but that appears to be less than 1 game a week. Unsurprisingly, all 3 games Angel Reese played in, the Chicago Bravado lost by an average of 18 points.
Let's talk numbers, because math doesn't lie like PR departments do. In the last 4 weeks, Angel Reese has suited up exactly 3 times. That's less than 1 game per week for those keeping score. And surprise, surprise, all 3 games ended in humiliating defeats by an average of 8. The moment her team started getting embarrassed on national television, she mysteriously developed this convenient back problem. Compare this to how real organizations handle injuries. The Indiana Fever always announce specifics when Caitlin Clark has issues. They tell you exactly what body part, how severe it looks, and provide realistic timelines. That's called transparency, and it builds trust with fans who invest their time and money into following these players. The Sky's approach has done the complete opposite. They've created nothing but confusion and conspiracy theories. When Angel Reese declined to travel to Indianapolis for their game against the Fever, her coach came out with more meaningless coach speak. She's focused on her rehab. She's dated. We've never gotten an explanation for what caused this injury or any timeline for recovery.
Like I said, I agree with Jason Whitlock. I think Angel Reese has quit on the season. The Bravado are 8-24. They were essentially eliminated from the playoffs back in June. I'm sure Angel Reese believes that there's no reason for her to play, but I think it could be a bit deeper than that too.
But here's where it gets really suspicious. ESPN already suggested she's probably finished for the season. That's the complete opposite of day-to-day status. When you put those contradictory narratives side by side, it becomes obvious that Reese and the Sky are playing games with their fan base instead of giving straight answers. The timing of this whole charade raises even more red flags. She knew once they lost their starting point guard early in the season and started getting demolished game after game that this team wasn't winning anything meaningful. So instead of fighting through adversity like real champions do, she found herself a convenient exit strategy. The Chicago Sky are sitting on a pathetic 8-24 record. They've been eliminated from playoff contention since early June. Nobody expects miracles from struggling teams, but completely abandoning your teammates during their darkest hour, that's not leadership, that's cowardice disguised as injury management.
Last weekend, the Indiana Felines played the Chicago Bravado in primetime on ABC. They drew 1.3 million viewers. It was the least watched game between these two teams since Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese entered the league. Guess who would have been blamed for these ratings if she was playing last weekend? Angel Reese. Guess who would be blamed for the declining mainstream interest the last few weeks if she was on the court? Angel Reese.
Here's the most damning evidence of all. While Angel Reese was too injured to accompany her team to Indianapolis for their crucial matchup against the Fever, she somehow found the energy to make that exact same trip for a Reebok promotional event. She was all smiles, shaking hands, pushing sneakers, and making headlines about taking over Caitlin Clark's territory. But when it came time to actually compete against Clark on the basketball court, suddenly her back was too fragile to handle the team bus ride. The optics couldn't be worse if she tried. You can't market yourself as a superstar while simultaneously ghosting the games that fans buy tickets to see. The only time she mysteriously recovered from this phantom injury was when her grandmother was in the crowd for a game against Washington. Suddenly all that back pain disappeared because family was watching, but her teammates who've been grinding through losses for months, they apparently don't deserve the same effort and commitment. This creates a massive problem when you compare her approach to Caitlin Clark's handling of actual injuries. Both players are supposed to be faces of the league. Both have dealt with physical issues this season, but their responses couldn't be more different.
The only reason Angel Reese agreed to play against Washington is because her grandmother was in attendance, and it was the first time grandma would see her granddaughter clap back at the haters in the WNBA dump.
Clark's team provides regular updates about her condition. She stays engaged with fans through media appearances and community events. Even when she's battling through pain, she makes it clear that she cares about the supporters who keep the league alive. Most importantly, when she does play, she shows up ready to compete at the highest level. Angel Reese, on the other hand, has become a ghost. Can't find her at games, not on the bench supporting her teammates, nowhere to be seen when her team desperately needs leadership. She made time to visit Indiana for corporate sponsorship obligations, but couldn't be bothered to show up when the Sky needed her against their biggest rival. The Indiana Fever have dominated this supposed rivalry, winning 4 out of their head-to-head matchup, and every single time Angel Reese is missing from those games, it looks more like she's deliberately avoiding direct competition with Clark. Fans aren't stupid. They see one star grinding through adversity while the other disappears whenever the spotlight might reveal uncomfortable truths. Since Caitlin Clark's been dealing with her own injury issues, mainstream interest in the WNBA has dropped significantly. But here's the difference. Clark's injury can be traced to specific moments during games, where she clearly re-aggravated existing problems. There's video evidence, medical documentation, and transparent communication from her organization.
Outside of AA batteries flying on the court gift wrapped in plastic wiener, what is there to talk about? Since Caitlin Clark has been injured, which has damn near been the entire season, but mainly since the All-Star break, there has been minimal mainstream interest in pretend basketball.
With Angel Reese's mysterious back problems, nothing but vague statements and suspicious timing that conveniently coincides with her team's worst stretch of the season. The longer this continues, the more it damages not just her reputation but the entire league's credibility. WNBA ratings have been sliding during her absence, and having marquee matchups without marquee players doesn't help anyone. People tune in for star power, not empty promises and injury excuses. When half of your biggest rivalry is missing in action, it kills the buzz that drives viewership and attendance. This was Angel Reese's golden opportunity to prove she could carry the WNBA spotlight, with questions swirling about whether the league's success was built entirely around Caitlin Clark. Reese had the perfect chance to demonstrate her own star power and drawing ability. Instead, she chose the safe route, disappear from meaningful games, and let others shoulder the responsibility. The media narrative has become crystal clear. Clark gets portrayed as the dedicated warrior fighting through legitimate injuries to compete at the highest level. Reese gets labeled as someone faking problems to avoid accountability. Whether that's fair or not doesn't matter anymore, because perception becomes reality in professional sports.
If these rumors are true, if Angel Reese has quit on her team, I look at this as a missed opportunity. This was her opportunity to prove that she could carry the WNBA. This was her chance to prove that the WNBA is more than just one player. This was her opportunity to be the center of attention, which is exactly what Angel Reese claims she wants. But I think Angel Reese knows she would not be enough. She wouldn't be able to maintain the same level of interest with Caitlin Clark not playing. We already have proof of this. Just look at what happened earlier this year with Unrivaled.
Her mysterious day-to-day status isn't just hurting the Sky's win-loss record, it's chipping away at fan trust and making the entire WNBA look unserious. When your biggest stars go missing without legitimate explanations, it sends the message that the league doesn't respect its supporters enough to provide honest communication. So here's the real question that everyone's thinking but afraid to ask out loud. Is Angel Reese actually dealing with a serious physical problem that requires this level of secrecy? Or is this just an elaborate scheme to protect her brand while her team suffers through one of the worst seasons in franchise history? The evidence keeps piling up on one side of that debate. A player who shows up for corporate events but misses crucial games. An organization that provides zero medical transparency while repeating meaningless phrases. A convenient injury that started right when losses began mounting and playoff hopes disappeared. Angel Reese will eventually return to the court, probably next season when expectations reset and team records start fresh. But the damage to her reputation might already be permanent. In today's WNBA, talent matters tremendously, but the most valuable ability might just be the simplest one of all: availability. When you sign up to be a professional athlete, you're accepting responsibility to your teammates, your organization, and the fans who support you. Disappearing during difficult times while maintaining lucrative sponsorship deals sends a clear message about priority, and that message has nothing to do with basketball excellence or team loyalty. The Chicago Sky deserved better from their star player. WNBA fans deserved honest communication about what was really happening, and the league itself deserved better than this circus of speculation and conspiracy theories that could have been avoided with simple transparency. Angel Reese's mysterious absence will be remembered as one of the most controversial storylines of the 2020, not because of what she accomplished on the court, but because of what she chose to avoid when her team needed her most. That's not the legacy any superstar should want attached to their name.